Hey gang, happy Sunday. Long time no see, huh? My schedule has cleared up, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Part of the reason why my schedule has cleared up is because I happen to be at the end of a contract, but the last two projects on that contract were then canceled because of the coronavirus outbreak and taking precautions because I was going to have to fly on a plane for these projects. It sucks. I was excited for those projects. Those projects were also going to pay my rent for a couple months. So it's been kind of a bummer, but I understand the precautions, and I am excited to have some time freed up to be giving to you guys again. So anyway, speaking of coronavirus, I wanted to hop on here today and just talk about how we can be navigating health and fitness in a safe way during this time. A lot of you or a lot of other people maybe are gonna go like, don't be an idiot, working out's not that important, like why are you so obsessed with going to the gym? But I think sometimes what people don't understand, especially in times like this, is that, I mean, for me anyway, and I think probably for a lot of you, like the gym is our safe space. Like the gym is the place we go to relieve our stress. Like the gym is that place that we can go and forget about everything else and just think about ourselves for a minute and do something in order to, you know, take care of ourselves. And so I think especially in a times like this, like we kind of need that space. And so listen, if it's not that important to you, then sure, stay home, don't go to the gym, doesn't matter, whatever. If it doesn't matter to you, then it doesn't matter to you. But the truth of it is that it is going to matter for a lot of us. But before I get started, I do just want to have a little disclaimer. Like I am not a doctor. I am not a medical or science professional of any kind. This is just my advice and my opinion. If you are concerned or you have questions, I urge you to reference the CDC or the World Health Organization for better, more reputable information. You guys probably knew that, but I had to say it. And now, of course, we all attack fitness a little bit differently, right? I'm not going to just assume my entire audience is CrossFitters. I don't think it is. So I'm gonna give some general advice and then I'm gonna break it down into a little bit more of specifics depending on what kind of gym you go to. But my first piece of advice is advice that you've probably been hearing from everywhere for the past couple of weeks, but I just have to also say it here. If you do not feel well, or you are part of an at-risk community, like you are 60 plus, or you are immunocompromised in some way, stay home. I don't want you to think that you can't get a good workout at home. There are so many options for you. There are free workouts online. A lot of the celebrity workouts that I used to try, I did in my living room. Go back, watch those videos. I wrote the workouts down for you. There are apps that will design workouts for you or give you workouts to do. You know, you can also run outside. Like that's honestly probably your best bet is just go for a run outside, get some fresh air, get your lungs working. That's gonna be really good for you. My next piece of advice is also for everyone, whether you go to a CrossFit gym, a Globo gym, a yoga studio, like whatever. This is just advice for everyone. Wash your hands when you get to the gym or before you go to the gym, and wash your hands as soon as you're done working out. I know we've all been talking about washing our hands so much, but especially in this scenario, it's gonna be important because you're about to touch a whole bunch of equipment. You're drinking your shake or you're eating right after or you're wiping your sweat. Like just wash your hands before and after, immediately, thoroughly, just wash your hands, please. My third piece of advice is also something you guys have been hearing this whole time, but I'm gonna say it again. Keep a safe distance. I think they're recommending a 6-foot personal bubble. Honestly, it's my personal dream. You know, don't use a treadmill right next to somebody. Like if you can, like take the dumbbells a little bit farther away and just give yourself a little bit more space. I know some yoga studios are now marking out where the mats can go, making sure those mats are 4 feet away from everyone. And I think that's a great idea. So do what you can as an individual to just keep that personal bubble and just keep a safe distance from everyone. My fourth piece of advice is maybe going to be hard for some of us, but if it's an option for you, it's a really good idea. Go at off-peak hours. That way, keeping a safe distance is going to be a little bit easier. There's just going to be less people there. If you have the luxury of being able to go whenever you want, try and go when it's less busy. My fifth piece of advice is also something that you were hopefully doing anyway, but I'm going to suggest we do it a little bit more thoroughly, and that's wipe the equipment down. Anything you use, anything you touch, wipe it down. And you know what? Maybe wipe it down before and after you use it. And when I say wipe it down, I mean use the antibacterial disinfectant wipes that the gym is providing you. Hopefully your gym is providing you those. Don't just like take a towel and wipe it. Don't just use water. Like, please be using antibacterial disinfectant wipes to wipe down any equipment you touch or use before and after you use it. That goes for Globo gyms, CrossFit gyms, any kind of gym. And now I'm going to get a little bit more specific. So the rest of my advice is going to mostly be for CrossFitters, powerlifters, weightlifters, that kind of arena, strongman athletes, you know. And so in regards to wiping down equipment, I do also want you to be wiping down your barbells, but if you use the same disinfectant wipes, you actually are probably going to ruin those barbells. So please ask your gym if they have specific cleaner for the barbells, or ask them at least before you wipe them down. And then another piece of advice for this little specific strength sport community of ours is in reference to chalk. Most of our gyms just have huge chalk buckets everywhere, right? And we normally just share chalk with people, and normally that's fine. But if we're limiting contact and we want to be keeping our hands clean, I just think shared chalk buckets is not a good idea. So you have two options here. One, you can bring your own chalk, put it in a Ziploc bag or put it in one of the rock climber bags, and then just keep that as your personal chalk. Another option is liquid chalk. That's what I've been using. Give it a little shake, give it a little squirt, rub your hands together, let it dry, and it's a lot more hygienic. So please, if you can avoid using shared chalk buckets, do so. So my last piece of advice is maybe more for gym owners or coaches, or something you could bring up to your gym owners. And it ties in to us wanting to keep a safe distance from people, right? So if you're a gym that typically has really packed classes, I'm going to urge you to cap your classes. But the number that you cap your class at is going to be dependent on your gym, right? You just want to pick a number in which your athletes are still going to be able to retain that 6-foot personal bubble. Don't let your gym get super crowded. Don't let your athletes be all on top of each other just for the sake of, you know, profit or gain, or, you know, not wanting to turn people away. Because at the end of the day, this is about public safety, and we have to prioritize that. A lot of places, and not just gyms, you know, restaurants, mom and pop shops, like, you can't afford to close down. You know, you'll go out of business. And so it's about continuing to be in business in a safe and responsible way. And I think your athletes will thank you, even if they maybe have to miss a class or find a different class time because of a class cap. Now is not a time to be selfish or to be careless. I hope in 6 months from now, we all go, man, what was everybody freaking out about? That was no big deal, right? But if we're able to say that, it's gonna mean that we did this part right, that we did our job in flattening the curve, and that we took the right precautions, and that we kept our public safe, and that we kept our communities safe. And you know, that starts with the individual, and it kind of grows on a larger and larger scale. I know that this is a stressful time for a lot of people. I know that maybe there's a lot of anxiety going around. And so I don't want to take away this safe space for you. What I want to do is offer you ways to continue this practice safely and responsibly. I know I keep using those two words, but like, that's kind of what this is all about. Let's just all like think about each other and care about each other, and keep taking care of ourselves too. You know, I mentioned that we all want to keep working out because, you know, it's a stress reliever for us, or a safe space, whatever. but it's also gonna be really important to keep taking care of your body during this time. The best way to stay healthy is to be healthy. And so I want you to keep eating well. I want you to keep working out. I want you to keep taking care of yourself. Working out is gonna be good for you. Working your lungs and getting healthy lungs is gonna be good for you. Eating well is gonna be good for you. Like, the stronger and healthier your body is, the more capable it is of fighting off infections and viruses and all that kind of stuff. So just don't let this fall by the wayside because you're scared or you think it's not as important. You can just be smart about it. You know what I mean? So that is all I have to say. So please, everyone, stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane, and I will see you next week.